Welcome to Crypto Market News, coverage of Money 2020 in Singapore. I'm your host, Decentro, and I have Michael Liu, Vice President of Trustonic, with me today. Thanks for joining me.
No, thank you, Decentro, for giving me an opportunity to speak to you and your audience of what we do, and hopefully, I hope that what I say will be of interest.
Of course, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. So, Trustonic looks like it's providing next-generation hardware-backed security measures for users and developers.
That's correct.
To secure mobile devices. Can you
Indeed.
outline the scope of the project, please?
Sure, of course. Trustonic was established in 2012 by three leaders in hardware security. Arm Holdings in Cambridge, Gemalto in Amsterdam and France, and also G&D in Germany. And our objective is to essentially have hardware-backed security in all smart devices in order to simplify and enrich people's digital lives. And I'm sure we can talk a bit more about how we see the relevance of trusted devices in a digital economy.
Okay, so the scope and mission of Trustonic's project seems really important, especially now in this time of our digital history as humans, I suppose. Can you go into the importance of what you guys are doing for the changes in technology that we're seeing?
Indeed. I can speak from two aspects. The first one is how we see trusted devices and the importance of those in our digital lives and digital economies. And secondly, I can go into a bit more detail in terms of the partners that we work with and how we are helping to realize that aim. So to put it simply, we believe that digital economies has to rely on a trusted foundation of trusted communications and authenticated identities, whether those identities are humans or devices, in order to prevent fraud, in order to prevent any kind of scalable breach of either financial or reputation loss. So we have seen that decentralized databases has got a lot of applications in terms of actually helping different kind of business models to come true. So we believe that decentralized authentication of devices and also of humans or of people will also remove the need of very large scale attacks of databases, of passwords and login details. So a lot of our partners are working on the concept of decentralized trusted identities, such that the authentication is done on the edge, in order to remove some of the potential risks on the cloud side. So that's how we see things panning out in the future. In terms of specifically what we do, so firstly, Trustonic was established in order to implement what we call a trusted execution environment, which is a secure environment in smart devices, and we want to standardize that in order to lower the cost of adoption. And thirdly, and that's the most important thing, we believe security should be accessible to everyone, because hardware security has always in the past been locked down for one stakeholder, and we want to open that to everyone. So on the first part, in terms of providing a market-leading trusted execution environment technology to our partners, we have been working with people like Samsung, LSI, Qualcomm, MediaTek, AMD, and Broadcom, NVidia, and TI, all the Tier 1 ARM licensees to provide a market-leading TEE to them. We have also...
Sorry, I just want to ask, all these companies that you've mentioned, do the chipsets they use, is the trusted execution environment built into the architecture of the chips that all these companies you mentioned utilize?
Yes. So it's an option in the firmware that they provide to their customers. if you request it, and they'll be able to provide it. So we integrate with them at the BSP, the board support package level. So in every single Cortex-A ARM architecture chip, there is they support a architecture feature called Trust Zone, which allows the entire SoC, the system on a chip, to be separated into a secure part and a normal part, which allows Android and also the TEE to coexist. And the security principles are such that it's designed to prevent attacks coming from the normal side. Mm-hmm. So this is a key architecture feature of all ARM chips.
Right. So I find when I talk to people about the TEE, most people have no idea it even exists.
Indeed.
And it's also a little bit abstract. So can you try to explain what the TEE is in more of a plain sense?
Indeed. So I used to look after the product marketing of Trust Zone. So let me attempt to do that. Security, I think, is based on preventing attacks. So I see Trust Zone as a security architecture as it's based on hardware isolation of the normal and the secure part. The idea is that software attacks on the normal world cannot come across into the secure side. So that's one of the fundamental features. It's hardware isolation. Mm-hmm. So we think of it as a security vault, which is locked and physically isolated from the outside. We often say, a secure computer is one that's disconnected from the internet and just put into a room. Okay, and so that's the idea in terms of hardware isolation.
That's a fantastic analogy, and it makes it very easy to understand. Nice. So from what I understand, Trustonic is partnered with Rivetz Corporation with regards to the interfacing between software and the TEE itself. Can you outline how Rivetz is involved in this aspect of what Trustonic is doing, please?
Indeed. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Rivetz on their successful ICO. It's really happy news for us also when one of our partners do well and have the potential to go a lot further. So really happy for them.
I'm personally looking forward to the release of their platform to
Indeed.
Allow developers to interface with the TEE. But go on, sorry.
Yeah. So exactly as you say, the average application developer, in fact, the average person, finds hardware security or the TEE an abstract concept. So we, as a security company, we try to develop and we try to cultivate an ecosystem of partners in different verticals, and we specifically focus on 4 verticals: financial services, information security or enterprise applications, content protection, and also an important area for smartphones is network operator subsidy protection. So Rivetz actually works across most of these verticals in terms of financial services. So they make things easy by implementing crypto inside the TEE, by protecting it from malware and Trojans, and then they make it easier for people to build on top of their APIs, which benefits from hardware protected crypto functions.
It sounds like what Rivetz is doing is actually quite crucial for the development and use of the TEE in this sort of next generation cybersecurity economy.
Indeed, exactly. So, and we are extremely grateful to Rivetz and partners like Rivetz in making the capabilities of TEE widely available, and also to promote the benefits of those also.
And it also seems like, well, it's obvious that they are utilizing blockchain itself as well to further leverage the benefits of the TEE. Is that correct?
Yes, this is something that they are working on, and I don't really want to comment further because I believe I don't want to steal their limelight. Indeed.
Okay,
So
right.
I spoke to them at MWC in Barcelona, and I think they'll have a lot more exciting news to share with you in the coming months.
Nice. All right. So let's talk about Trustonic partnerships. Your company has amazing, very well established partnership base, literally providing millions, if not billions, of devices already with next generation cybersecurity measures. Can you outline the extent of Trustonic's partnerships?
Sure. So the smartphone supply chain is simple in many ways. You have got suppliers of chipsets into the smartphone manufacturers. So we have worked with them in the past, and we are working with all the major ones now. So we are used in 9 out of 10 Android smartphone, the top 10.
The universe is now open. Please make your way to the main stage on level 4.
Our biggest customer is...
already used 9 out of 10 smartphones?
9 out of the top 10,
top 10
Android smartphone brands. So the ones that I can name are certainly Samsung Mobile, and also people like Vivo and Oppo and Xiaomi. Also companies like LG and HTC, Sony Mobile and Gionee and Meizu in China, and there are also a lot more which we have worked in the past as well, Motorola and in the past Nokia.
That definitely sounds like 9 of top 10. So can you outline the relationship with AliPay Trustonic has?
Of course.
Yeah.
So we work with AliPay in two ways. Firstly, we were supporting the initiative to do better internet authentication to allow financial services. So we're a member of the IFAA Alliance, and we provide a IFA turnkey solution to support the AliPay wallet to our smartphone manufacturers to allow biometric login and biometric transaction signing of their AliPay wallet. So this is something that improves the user experience in the AliPay payment experience, and it also improves the transaction time.
Okay.
So yeah, we are extremely happy to be one of their partners in this.
I bet you're excited to be partnered with AliPay.
Indeed, and we're also happy that they see us as an important partner also to try and bring the AliPay wallet out from China and to get into the Western and European and US and as well as Southeast Asia markets as well, along with our partners.
Great. So what lies ahead on the road for Trustonic's mission to ensure our devices remain secure in this rapidly changing tech environment? What's coming up for your developments as a company?
So I think two things. The first, I just want to talk a bit more about the widespread adoption and the increasing use of TEEs in all smartphones. Google is already mandating the use of hardware-backed security for their basic Android functionality, and especially if a phone uses a biometric sensor for unlock. So we very much see TEE as a technology is going to be ubiquitous. As you say, how do we make it more secure? Because adoption is not a problem now. So security is about assurance. How do you actually make sure that what you're trying to protect and you are actually doing what you are claiming. So it's called assurance. The second thing is how do you make it available to other people who want to use it? Because if it's all locked down, your average application developer can't use it. So what point is it? So these are other two things that we are trying to do. So the thing about assurance is that there is a standards organization called Global Platform that is looking at the standards for how do you have a security evaluation of the TEE and a device with the TEE to make sure that it actually does what it says. Because a trusted execution environment is not really trusted if it doesn't do what it says.
Right, of course.
A great quote from the former CTO of Sony Pictures Entertainment, Spencer Stevens, said what he really needs to do is to have a trusted TEE, and that's where the independent security evaluation comes in. The second part is how do you have an open TEE ecosystem to allow any application developer who wants to use that to use it. So this is what we call a after the market deployment of applications into the TEE, and that's the second focus for us.
Okay, cool. I'm personally interested. Is Trustonic publicly traded yet?
We are 100% privately owned at the moment, 50% each by Arm Holdings and Gemalto. So unfortunately, no plans yet. I'm sorry.
No plans yet, and it seems like there's a tight hold on that. There most likely won't be.
It's too important to both investors in terms of seeing this ecosystem and this technology being even widely adopted. So.
Well, there are alternative ways of getting involved as an investor.
I will let you know.
I already know those ways.
Indeed.
For example,
Excellent.
Rivetz. So, is there anything else that you would like to let our viewers know?
I think, absolutely. I think decentralized trust, decentralized security, and decentralized ways of processing data and doing transactions is going to fundamentally change the way we think about the digital economy, and I'm extremely excited to be part of this, and thank you for the opportunity for me to talk about Trustonic and what we do and how we can contribute. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure to have this conversation.
Same here.
And best of luck in the future.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Cheers. Subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and follow Decentro on Steemit and Twitter.